Na 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 na. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. We grind harder, we think smarter. Youths will live a life of crime, you die faster. Got a plan for my life, but well after. Release the stress on the beat, that much rather. We grind harder, we think smarter. Youths will live a life of crime, you die faster. Got a plan for my life, but well after. Release the stress on the beat, that much rather. Just a humble youth that.
Hi guys, before we get into this video, I just want to share something with you. I'm really glad that I waited to share my story, because back in 2016 when I was first diagnosed, I would have been very emotional, probably not able to even get through the video without crying. But over the years I've learned a lot more, and I'm still learning more about these diagnoses. This is my story, and I really wanted to share it because while I was going through it, I felt kind of alone in terms of being the only person to go through finding out about these diagnoses and having to have this operation. So I always said to myself that once I got through it, that I wanted to help somebody who might be going through the same situation as me. Probably not the same thing, but similar situations, because we as women, we go through stuff and we go through it very quietly and sometimes alone. So I'm making this video in hopes to help anyone going through the same situation, and to let you know that you're not alone, and if I can get through it, you can get through it too. I hope it helps you in every way or any way, and I hope you too will be able to share your story one day, probably not on a big platform, but with someone to help somebody. Bye. And today I wanted to talk to you all about something very personal to me, and I see a lot of people who have these problems, and as women, you know, it's hard for us to sometimes put ourselves up there and express ourselves of what's going on and stuff, for fear for you know, people looking at you some way or thinking about you a particular way, you know. And I just want to put myself up there. Starting off back in 2016, well before then, I used to have a lot of painful menstrual cycles, and it wasn't easy for me. I started my cycle when I was 9, and it was not easy for me. Plenty of time I would have to go to emergency care and be given drips for my cycle to be able to operate. And this was over years to the doctor, and they gave me morphine, and if anybody knows, we know morphine is a very powerful drug. And I said, no, something is definitely wrong. But before then, I have been to two gynecologists. They just led me to believe that this is something normal. It couldn't be something normal if I had to go to emergency care and get morphine that time. And before then, it was another drug, and it just got stronger and stronger. So after that, I decided, you know what, I need to find something else, because I don't like how this is going. Something has to be wrong. So I ended up going to my gynecologist that I have now, so lovely, and I found out in 2016 that I was diagnosed with
Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome, and we knew I had fibroids. We had an idea that I would have had endometriosis as well, but we wouldn't have found that out till after surgery, and that's when I found out.
That was right before my birthday, finding out. So all in all, I I was told that I have to get them done or dealt with as soon as possible. Let's go into what those are. The PCOS, Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. This is just the textbook form or example of what it is. It says PCOS, Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. It involves infrequent or irregular cycles or prolonged menstrual cycles. It says excess in male hormone levels, and then the ovaries develop numerous small collections of fluid called follicles. So these would be a lot of follicles in the ovaries. The fibroids now are non-cancerous growths that develop in or around the womb or / uterus, and the growths are made up of muscle and fibrous tissue, and they can vary in size. It also can cause a lot of discomfort and blood loss. And then endometriosis, this is where the condition of where tissue similar to the one lining the womb, it starts to grow in other places like the ovaries and fallopian tubes and such, where it isn't supposed to be. So all three of these things were affecting fertility for me, and I had to get a procedure by the name of myomectomy.
Yes, my doctor did my myomectomy, and she also took care of my endometriosis. There was a little piece growing, but those are liable to grow back. And PCOS, they're just like follicles, so it's something that you really have to live with. But I was very thankful for everything that she did.
Having that myomectomy, it was say a relief, a little bit of hope, because I was on a lot of medication before I had the surgery. It was very painful, every cycle very painful. The fibroids hurt around my cycle. I was feeling it was too much to bear, so it was just a lot. And it was a lot on me because it was like nobody else saying this, and families don't really talk about this, and so I was the first one to have this whole procedure done. Talk about the house, like the financial.
Right, the financial side was thousands of dollars, and I got a lot of help from family, my church family, my volleyball family, and I really appreciated it, because they didn't have to, but they did.
But everybody reached out and they helped, and I love them so much for it, because they didn't have to, but they wanted to support me, and I felt really good about it. It took me years to talk about this because I was going through it and learning about them, how they affect your life, how you have to change some parts of your diet, to help this out, and how it affects you in a way that that every day you want to have some children. And at that time, I was looking to be married. I was looking to get married because I got married in 2018. I was looking to get married, so everything, all of that just came up before then, So these things are hard, and I just want to put my story out there because a lot of people are affected by it. We go through it daily, and it's hard because not a lot of people speak about it. Only when I talked about it, some of my family came forward and said, I have cysts, or I have PCOS, or I have fibroids, or but I didn't know none of this before. And it's good that we can speak about it because it helps others, and in the long run, you can help somebody feel a little bit better. Because I wish I had somebody to speak to that was going through the same thing as me, but not one was really going through the same thing as me. So, and I just thank all my friends and all my family and stuff for being there for me, because it was a really hard time, hearing you have the textbook picture of what PCOS is supposed to be, or what fibroids is supposed to look like, or what endometriosis is not a good feeling, but my doctor also was thanking me so much because she made it, not that it was overwhelming, I prayed and stuff, but it was she made me feel comfortable knowing that she had it under control and we're gonna work through it. We're gonna work through it together. So after my surgery, I healed up pretty well, and what I was told to, you have to be very careful with the fibroids because one of my fibroids started to enter into my womb. So I had to take a lot of medication to help build that part to come back. But you try to work or eat accordingly, exercise and stuff, so that it was slowly process or halt the process for a while, because then your body healthier and stuff, and it tends to cause it to go sore, because fibroids do take a long time. So I guess between the time that I was first having cycles about 9 till 20 something, is like, that's a long time, and a long time for them to grow. And if you got them in the early years, you might be able to use some medication to help that, but that was just what happened in my case. I went to this doctor, we did an ultrasound, we did everything to find out everything, It was a hard time, it was a very, very hard time, and after that, things just started turning around, starting to feel a lot better. I actually got married in 2018, which was great. So my hubby, my hubby helped me go through it. He was there for everything. If is one thing I can say is that if you want somebody's there for you when they're there for you through the hard times, when you can't get up, when I can't laugh, when I'm vomiting and he's there helping me clean up, that's how I knew for sure that he was there for me. I love my family for just encouraging me, my friends, my volleyball family, for just helping in every way that they could. Because when you go through this, you need a good support system, so especially something that you're dealing with alone, it's hard. So I just wanted to get my story out there, and I hope it helps somebody. And subscribe if you want. And just trying to get my story out there and to help somebody. That's my main purpose, to help somebody with my story. And thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.
Yes, I think I'm gonna get a question. Can you have kids? But yes, it can. It just takes a little longer. You don't know when. That's just because of these diagnoses. It's different for everybody, but it happens eventually. Or you can go ahead if you want to quicken up the process and get IUI or IVF, which I can talk about in another video.